All right, what's up? So I'll be telling this story time about when I witnessed two kids get jumped in front of my school. So this story takes place back in 2019 when I was in ninth grade. It was back then before COVID. It was still I don't know if any of your guys' schools are like this, but in my old school, it was like A days on Mondays, B days on Tuesdays, and like so on and so forth through the week. It'll just be A day, B day, A day, B day, and it's basically the same as it is now. When COVID hit, that routine didn't switch. So basically, this new kid, he was like this skinny, scrawny kid, and he came on a B day, and on B days I have gym. So I seen him like talking to the teacher, and the teacher was like, "Oh, you new here?" And I didn't really like playing around in gym back then, so I usually just sat by the front door. And when the teacher ended up asking him, like, "Oh, what's your name?" He told him his name. He told him he was new here. He's just now coming. And he was like, oh, "Okay, that's cool." I told him, "All right, well, we're not really doing anything. It's the beginning of the year. Just, go hang out, do things, try to find out what you like, meet new people." And the new kid, he just ended up picking up a basketball and just like playing basketball. He didn't really know anybody, so he just ended up doing his own thing. And these two kids, they were like bigger than him. He was like the skinny Michael Jackson skinny type of kid. So he just didn't really like want to do anything else but just play basketball, be by himself for a while. And these kids like just came up to him, started messing with him. They was like, "Hey, where are you from?" He didn't really want to answer them. And then they started like getting close, like telling him like, "Yo, where are you from?" He asked you a question, and he was like, "Bro, just leave me alone." And they just weren't trying to really leave him alone. And I was like watching. I was like kind of watching, but like I, me personally, I don't really. If you don't mess with me, I don't mess with you. But when I saw bullying, I really wanted to like step in, and I just ended up playing Subway Surfers on my phone. I just looked at it like, okay, I'm new at this school, because that it was like my first year there. So I was like, you know what, this is a public school, and I really don't want to really start. I'm not all for violence. It's not really me. But if you're not messing with me, I don't really care. Or if you're not messing with anybody that's nice or cool with me, I don't really care. But I ended up just getting the teacher for that guy because it looked like bullying, and I was like, you know what, this guy is like being bullied by his two kids, and the gym teacher did absolutely nothing. He literally looked at it as if, oh, it's just boys being boys, when that guy was literally getting like messed with, and he was new here. And after like another teacher came in, and I was gonna go tell the other teacher, because the normal gym teacher, the guy that I told the first time, he just sat there. And when another teacher came in, because they usually just come in and just sit down for no reason. I never got that. She came in and he ended up just like looking at me. He saw that I was gonna walk up to that teacher and tell her, so he just ended up going and saying like, "Hey, stop messing with that new kid," and that literally like pissed me off. So all through the day, I ended up seeing that kid like his energy just getting lower and lower and lower. He just didn't look like he was as happy as he was when he first came in. And I kind of could tell that it was because those kids were like constantly messing with him and nobody was really doing anything about it. I saw it through lunch and stuff. Like he would try to sit by himself and they would walk past him and say stuff because no security guards will say anything towards him. They wouldn't tell him sit down, do this, do that. The school is a really bad school. And so he ended up I think he ended up calling some people at some part of the school day. I wasn't there if he did, but I remember going outside. It was the end of the day. I was walking down the hall talking to my friends, and I was telling them, like, bro, this guy, this new kid, he's like getting bullied by these kids that are like bigger than him. They're like bulky and fat and shit. And so he's like, oh, okay. Like, well, it ain't really our problem. And so at the end of the day, we were like walking. And while we're walking, we're heading towards like the front door. A whole lot of kids are swarming the front door, and I ended up seeing the same exact kid that was getting like bullied by those other guys. And he goes outside, and I'll just watch from the field because it's like this big old open field. Some people head towards the sidewalk. I usually sit in the field, and I like was really intrigued by him for some reason. At that moment, and someone just told me like just watch what this guy does. And he walked all the way down the concrete walkway. I just call it the walkway. And he heads towards this car. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, this might just be his car. This might just be like his pickup. He goes in there, opens the driver's seat, leans in like he's talking to somebody, and I see like three other guys, maybe yeah, three other guys get out, put a little bandana around their mouth, and come out and they catch those two guys and beat them in the middle of the street. Now it's four people beating up two guys, and it's two security guards. That's not really doing much. And so after they like got done pounding the mess out of those guys, they just left. They just got in the car and left. That kid got expelled, and those two kids took their lumps and never bullied anybody again. I think that new kid got like out for real. So yeah, this is I'm gonna start doing like more story times like this. This is a story about the time I ended up witnessing two people just get molested in the middle of the street. I'll be making more story times about this. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.